Good morning students, myself Ajit Pratap Singh. Today in video number 29th, I will tell you about light. Apart from light, I will also tell you about sources of light. Okay students? So let's start with the light. As you know students, green plants can make their own food for the whole world by the process of photosynthesis using the energy of light. Okay? So light is a form of energy. It is very much essential for life on earth. Also during photosynthesis process, oxygen gas is given out and we take in oxygen for the respiration process, as you all know. Apart from this, when we burn wood for cooking or for warming ourselves, we actually utilize the energy of sunlight that is already locked up in plants. In fact, the energy of all fossil fuels such as petroleum, coal and natural gas has also been derived from the light energy of the sun. Okay students? This is because fossil fuels are the remains of plants and animals that have been changed by nature over millions of years. We therefore depend on light energy for our requirements of food, oxygen and fuel. So not only light gives the energy, apart from this it gives us food, oxygen and fuel also. Now next slide. In this slide we will talk about how fast does light travel. Okay, for a long time people thought that light travels instantly from one place to another. Galileo Galilei was a scientist. He tried to measure the speed of light by trying to measure the time it takes to travel from one hill to another. But Galileo Galilei was unsuccessful. Okay, because the light travels very fast. Its speed is 3 lakh km per second in air. It will travel the distance of approximately 2000 km between Delhi and Chennai in just 1/150th of a second. Okay, no object can travel as fast as light. The distance from the sun to the earth is around 1485 lakh kilometers. You can calculate that light travels from the sun to the earth in 8 and 1/4 minutes after it has been already. That means you see the sun rising this time after it has already risen. Okay students, it takes light several years to travel from the stars to the earth. In fact, some stars are also so far that light takes millions of years to travel from them to the earth. Therefore, we can say that when we look up to the stars, you are actually seeing what they looked like millions of years ago. Okay, if a faraway star explodes today, the explosion can only be seen on the earth millions of years later. So it will take lot of time when we will be able to see them on the earth, because they are very far away from the earth. Okay students, now next slide. There is a fact that thunder and lightning happen at the same time in the clouds, but we see the lightning a few seconds earlier than we hear the thunder. So thunder takes place after the lightning takes place. This is because light travels much faster than sound. Why does it happen? Because the light travels even faster than the sound. Okay, students. Now we will talk about sources of light. There are a lot of sources of light like the sun, stars, a lighted candle, an electric bulb, or the shining fireflies like jugnos can produce their own light. So these are some sources of light in which the sun, stars and fireflies are natural sources of light. Fireflies are also known as jugnos, okay, which is an animal or an insect, we can say. The candle or the electric bulb are human-made sources of light. Okay, students. So we can say that candle and electric bulb are artificial source of light as well, because these are made by the human being. Now we will talk about activity first, that is an observation. Classify the following objects into those that produce their own light and those that do not. You can clearly do that. Now, next slide. Now we will talk about luminous and non-luminous objects. Okay, students. So first of all, we will talk about luminous objects. The objects that produce their own light or which have their own light are known as luminous objects. For example, sun, stars, etc. And non-luminous objects are the objects which do not have their own light or which do not produce their own light. For example, moon, earth, book, etc. Okay. When light falls on a non-luminous object such as a book, it gets reflected in different directions, as you can see in this diagram as well. When this reflected light reaches our eyes, we can see the object. Okay, so after the reflection into our eyes, we can see the object. During the day, your room is lighted because of the reflection of sunlight by the several non-luminous objects around you. So you must have felt this thing that during the day, light always takes place in the rooms because of the lot of objects present in your house. That's why, because of the reflection of the sunlight. Now next slide. Moon is also a non-luminous object. Do you know, students? Yes. Moon is also a non-luminous object because it shines and it reflects the light of the sun to us. So due to the reflection of the sun, we are able to see the moon. From the moon, astronauts see the earth as a big ball. So earth is like a big ball from the moon for astronauts. And it is shining because of the sunlight it reflects. Both the moon and the earth shine in borrowed light. So we can say both moon and earth are non-luminous objects or non-luminous bodies. So thank you, students, for watching this video.